Welcome to the latest episode of the Hawk Insider with Coach Craig Slaughter, brought to you by Texas Bank. I'm Russ Howard. So, Coach, district play, one down. Your thoughts?
Definitely still a slow start, which we frustrated with. Just eventually, every single possession is going to matter to you. It's second week in a row. Last week we obviously fumbled kickoff. This week, first play of the game. Again, I love your kid's response, but playing behind right off the bat, that's not how we want to start football games.
Yeah. And one thing that impressed me, and there's several things I really want to talk about tonight just because of what we saw, but one thing that really impressed me, and I know we talk about Landon York a lot, and there's a lot to talk about, but he throws that interception on the very first play, comes back and ends up throwing 7 touchdown passes, almost 400 yards. What a rebound after that. You could have gone in the toilet, you could have tanked it, but he put it behind him and came right back.
Credit to him. We know he's a tough kid. I talked to Landon a lot of times. I don't say a ton to Landon. That's really long on the offensive guys. But at one point in the game, I said, Landon, I want you to know, I just want you to make a good decision, and I'll live with it. Just don't ever predetermine where you think the ball needs to go, or just you read it. You make the decision and let it spin. Because and again, what a night he had. 7 touchdowns. That's pretty rare air right there, I'm sure.
Is that his? I was going back and looked. I think that's the most he's thrown in the game, is it?
I would strongly imagine. I know he had a 5 last year, and maybe he had a 6, but I'm pretty sure 7 was again that was that's crazy.
I'll tell you, almost video game like numbers over that. 77% completion percentage, 387 yards, so just an outstanding game. But the other one I really want to talk about was Brady Neal. And I know we talk a lot about him, but in that second half, when it looked like y'all came out wanting to run the ball, he just took it and
we got stopped 3 of, I think, our first 5 or 6 possessions. Well, man, when you look back on it, we scored, I believe, 6 in a row, and I didn't know until after the game, we're putting in the data in the computer. We didn't even have a third down the second half. It was first down, second down, first down, and again, that Brady was running his tail off. The ball was rarely hitting the dirt. The O-line was absolutely doing work coming off the ball, and that was, but Brady, again, he's had some of those big choke plays just waiting to happen. And he found several of them there. So that was impressive.
Yeah, just a great. 2 touchdowns on the ground as well. Averaged 11 yards, almost 12 yards a carry. So we've been talking all season about we're just waiting for that one game for him to break out.
He really, about Brady. Again, he grew up in the flex bone, and he kind of played that slot back a lot. Well, last year he kind of played some running back, some receiver. He hadn't had just a ton of carries. Behind that offensive line. He's really that patience, and when it's time to be patient, when it's time to not be patient, when it's time to press the hole, he's really, I think, just getting better each game. And obviously had a monster game the other night. Proud of him.
Yeah, and then of course, obviously catching the ball again. We mention him every single show, but Reed Robertson, 31 yards a catch, 2 touchdowns, including that beautiful 78-yard catch. And when he caught it, it was right at the 35 or 40 when he caught it. And then he literally outran everybody. Kellen got a good block down.
Yeah, he did. Hey, Reed's one of those, he's a long strider, and you don't realize the ground he's chewing up. Like, there's people that have angles on him every week, and he just, he just makes it look like they're not trying. He's just, no, dude, he's an explosive play. And again, you saw the best of both worlds. You saw the pure explosion, the 78-yard or whatever it was, and the freak show. Again, when they threw that, I was like, was that in or not? And you see the hands go up, and just, that's just a special, it's a great throw. He gave only Reed a chance to make the catch, and Reed did. And again, obviously got his foot down, and he's awesome at that.
You say it all the time. I say it on the air all the time because I stole it from you, but even when he's covered, he's not covered.
That's absolutely, amen.
Every time you get inside the 20, I immediately start looking where he's lined up, because inside that 20.
Oh, yeah, no, it is. Landon, obviously, a ton of confidence in him. A ball that Landon throws really well. And again, some of those, like the one that Brownwood got, I thought he put it on the track. Then all of a sudden you see, Reed go get it and come down with it. And not come down with it out of bounds, come down with it. Touchdown. That's impressive stuff.
Yeah, and it wasn't just Reed, though. Jagger Thompson, great game, 6 catches, 115 yards, and a touchdown. What a great game by that young man.
Oh, for sure. And a really good catch on their sideline. It was one of those kind of bang-bang plays. Jagger, again, like so many of those kids, explosive play, great night. the ball distribution was really impressive. You know, I mean, I know Kellen had some, Jagger had some, Reed had some, Evan had some, you know, Brady had some. You know, the you know, because like I don't think McFarden got any other than that, and normally McFarden, you know, gets a catch or two. The distribution of the football was is impressive stuff.
Yeah, and even Dylan Sellers got in on the action from that goal line play. Yeah, that was a well-designed play. We were watching that from up top, watching it develop, unfold right in front of us.
I will credit again to the offensive staff. You know, that little formation and things, you know, we've done a bunch, and it's either been to Brady or that's the one that sometimes Reed sneaks behind. Well, that was the other option on that play, you know, was Dylan leaking out to the flat. So that was again, that's just good job by the coaching staff in there, and good execution by the kids.
Yeah, you know, and that puts something on tape. So you can't just defend X, Y, and Z. You better go back to A, B, and C as well.
Yeah, again, just modern triple option. That ball could have went to Brady, to Reed, to Dylan.
Yeah,
it's just you know, you pick your poison, and you know, it's going to get distributed where it should.
Yep. So the last one I want to talk about on the old side before we go over to D is young man that we had to actually find out who he was. We had no idea who he was, but Gunnar Garza, what a debut. I can see now why you called him up from JV.
Hey, Gunnar is he is a donkey, future absolute donkey. We and credit to Gunnar, he's been down there just playing his tail off on Thursday nights, and again, every handshake after the game is like, what is that kid doing on JV? Well, you know, Lord, I mean, he forced our hand eventually, you know, but man, like, whose playing time are you trying to give out there? But, you know, he's just another toy in the toy box, and talented, humble kid. And again, what a great night. I mean, you know, he's obviously a kid that you'll see returning kicks, and he's a kid that is going to continue to work to get some of those packages of plays. I mean, dude, he's one of those. He's a change direction, full speed kid. You know, some kids kind of chop their feet, and man, he just has those, I don't know, they're wiggly hips, you know, and it's just, you know, he just makes kids miss in space. It's a skill. And, you know, if I hadn't seen him play as much as I've seen him play, you know, you would think, man, some of those guys aren't tackling worth the crud. Well, man, it's that kid, you know, the way he runs the ball and puts pressure on him and bends it back and stuff, he has a bright future in our program.
I will tell you this, though. I have to say this, and because it impressed me like nothing else he did that night is on that long run, that long little pop pass run down this near sideline. As a sophomore, you want to score. Oh God, I see the end zone right there, and he steps out on the one. What a classy move by that kid.
Full credit to him. You know, a lot of times if you're at the 30 or something, you may mention like, hey guys, we'd rather not pop right here. You know, but again, I think it's more disrespectful to not play, you know, than, you know, I mean, no, but I love what he did, you know, but I mean, like, we didn't even cover that, you know, when you're 98 yards away, you know, I mean, it wasn't even like something we're like, hey, make sure we don't pop here. No, I got many texts about that kid's play, and you know, just an impressive to him for sure.
But again, that speed down the sideline, he outran everybody. I mean, and you could say, well, it's fourth quarter, it's garbage time, whatever. You still got to play the rest of the games.
And again, there's kids with angles on him. Yeah, he did a great job getting out of the end zone. At one point, I thought it may be a -2 for you, or not -2, you know, but a safety. You know, he kind of set a block up in the flat there, and then, you know, 98 yards later,
just a great play and a great offensive performance. Now let's transition over to the D, because the D this season, Merkel, Idalou, they gave up 21. Okay, but some of that was in garbage time, whatever. But this team, I went back and tried to, and obviously not everybody put stats in. Yeah. I don't know that they've given up more than 300 yards all year, and most of them they kept them under 200.
That's what, I don't really realize that sometimes. You know, at halftime, Coach Warren has a sheet of paper that we talk about and look at, and there's not been many halftimes where you're like, man, we're getting, you know, they're really moving the ball on us. I can't remember exactly, 160, I think, maybe.
Yeah, 162.
You know, and again, I don't like that first possession. You know, we had 40-something yards to defend. That was really, they had a third down penalty on us, and then that one 4th and 17, or, you know, just kind of not a fluke deal because they made a good play, but that should have been an off the field deal. But no, I mean, I absolutely love how they're playing. You know, I've had people joke about, hey, whatever you say at halftime, you need to say pregame. Dude, I'm not an actor, you know what I mean? I can't just pull it up. You know, I mean, if there's something we're upset about, and sometimes there's not, but again, sometimes it may be something you're playing wrong, or sometimes you may be readjusting their attitude or whatever. But it's just, we still, one of our whole focuses is start hotter, start faster. And I know that the kids are, we're talking about it. We're trying to make sure we're doing things on our end to get them ready. But that's something we want to fix.
Yep. Well, I mean, yeah, you want to fix that. Yeah, will it come back to haunt you? Possibly, but the thing is, yes, 63-13.
No, yeah, no,
absolutely.
I said, we want, one of our goals, I don't have it on the edition, maybe I should, used to be first stop of each, first possession of each half is a stop. It just kind of tells you're ready to take the field, with your mind tuned in. And again, I mean, if we had 40 yards, those conversions really hurt us, but so many of those kids are playing at an absolutely elite level. And again, when I watch film and when we're putting notes in and things, man, it's just so many. This is exactly how this should look. And our perimeter stuff the other night, they got a couple of screens on us, and some of it was stubborn. I was pretty sure they were checking to a screen. Well, I refused to check out of it because I wanted us to. We need to play that play better, because it can't be you never send heat. So it's just that's something, another thing that we're trying to fix, and an issue that we're working on.
Yeah. Well, overall, Gavin Sisson, 10 total tackles, a tackle for loss. Jacob Braden, again, 11 tackles and tackle for loss. Gavin Sisson with a sack, Caden McFerrin with a sack, Dylan Sellers, of course, here he is again with a sack, and then Brennan Branch. So 4 sacks overall. Great pass rush, dude.
No, just very solid. Very little inside run game, which we didn't really think they would attack us like that. It was extreme perimeter game. Plus the quick screen stuff. But our kids are, man, they're doing so many things well, and I'm excited to where this goes. Let's keep doing it.
Yep. And then Kellen Oliver, another pick. And on the pick, you say, well, it was an overthrow. Okay, but he still kept the receiver in front of him and was in perfect position to go get it.
Hey, it's one of those little things. Kellen does it as good as anybody we have. Kellen will show like press up in your grill and make them think they got a takeoff, and then Kellen had kind of backed off. I mean, that's just one of those little nuances that, he messed with that quarterback, where the quarterback thought he had a fade, and he actually didn't, so that was really heads up by Kellen.
Yep. And then, of course, before we go to break, we'll always have to mention Tyler Clansmith. 9 of 9. I made a joke on the air. I'm like, that kid needs to go ice his leg down after this one. He's going to have a cramp in that leg.
And we even got TK. I'm always mixed emotions when we get him in, because he is so valuable to our team. But TK, his future, he's going to play more too. So you kind of have to walk that line between, dude, you're a valuable kicker, but you're also, we need you to get ready for when that spotlight's a little bigger for you. Because one of these days he's gonna do more than kick for sure.
That's right. I did see him get some time that wasn't on special teams.
Yes, and it does. It makes me nervous. But but it's just, I mean, the kid has to develop as a football player in other ways too, and he's doing it.
All right, Coach. Well, great win. We'll go to break. We'll come back. We'll talk about next week's district opponent. Excuse me. Stay tuned. After the break, we got a very special segment with a very special group of guests, and we've been teasing it all week. Hadn't told you who it is, but come back after the break. We'll show you that, and then after that, we'll come back and talk about district opponent. You're watching the Hawk Insider with Coach Craig Slaughter, brought to you by Texas Bank.
At Texas Bank, we believe in the power of relationships. Our roots are our customers, the lifeblood of our business. We're more than just a bank. We're your trusted financial partner, committed to building lasting connections and providing personalized service that exceeds your expectations. From helping you achieve your financial goals to supporting you through life's changes, we're here for you every step of the way. Experience the difference of banking with people who truly care.
Welcome back to the Hawk Insider, brought to you by Texas Bank. On this segment, we bring to you the offensive line. So if you wouldn't mind, introduce yourself going this way. First name, last name, position you play.
Sir, my name is Will Aldridge. I'm a senior and I play right tackle. Ben Jinsky, right guard.
Reed Ballard, center.
Rylan Scannellari, left guard. Gage Jacoby, left tackle.
So got to ask you, so obviously we always say, make sure they're not standing out here the Glory Boys names and numbers all the time. Y'all don't get the love, the recognition, whatnot. But I got to tell you, not 1 yard is gained, not one pass is completed. Landon doesn't get one throw off, not 1 yard rushing, nothing without you guys. So first off, one of the best offensive lines I've seen in several years, if not in quite some time. So, A, congratulations. With that said, and any one of y'all can jump in on this, which do y'all prefer more, run blocking or pass blocking?
I would say run blocking is becoming more of our favorite, just because we're able to move the ball much better this year than in years past. And it's always good to do something that's pretty selfless. Not always getting the recognition and seeing success come from it.
It's always fun to make holes and knock people over.
Yeah, but of course, definitely like it better because we're the ones causing the force. We're coming at them instead of them, run it.
I like that. I like that, cause and force. Going back to what you said, it's easier to go forward than backward, right? Yeah. I mean, that's a tenet of warfare as well. You always want to advance, not retreat. But we do understand that pass blocking is obviously important in a spread-based offense like what y'all run. With that being said, do y'all take pride in pass blocking, especially keeping Landon York clean?
Absolutely. It's something that we've had to learn just this past year because we never threw the ball before Coach Slaughter got me in the position, so it's definitely something new.
So speaking of that, all y'all been around for a couple of years at least, right? So y'all played in the old flexbone based offense. So how much of a transition was that going from a I don't know if you call it a zone blocking scheme or run blocking scheme into a spread based blocking scheme?
And I would say last year was the biggest transition we had. Of course, with the flex offense, you're going to be running the ball 85-90% of the time. The pass pro wasn't nearly the same. So that's probably personally my biggest deal was learning the technique, learning who to pick up on stunts and stuff like that.
Yeah. So what about asking y'all the same question, because that's a great point. What was the hardest piece of that transition?
Yeah, honestly, back from on vein is the pass blocking. I think Coach Williams has done a great job teaching us, the exact moves and stuff to do, work with it.
Yeah.
I think it's also a very big change from, power rather than more of a passive.
More finesse type. Yeah, more finesse type offense.
Some stance changes along with that.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. No, that's a great point too. Yeah. What about from a center standpoint? Obviously, you're in shotgun 99. Have we even taken a snap under center this year? I don't think so. I don't know how many there. I don't know if there's many that last year either.
There were 0 this year and last year. It's definitely a lot more just having to make strength calls, seeing the linebackers as they walk up. But I trust these guys around me, so it's the big game.
So, great season so far. And I hate to keep bringing this up because it made me angry. I was sitting in a hotel room in Maryland last year watching it and got really upset, irritated at it. Shed a tear or two in that semifinal last year. But glad to see how this team has responded this year. I know we take this one game at a time, and now we're in district play. Obviously, district play determines playoff seeding, yada, yada, yada. What has changed, if anything, from last year to this year? As far as mindset, I guess.
I would say that, we haven't done anything yet. Just Coach Slaughter says the work like this stuff. So just working harder every day.
I love that point. I'm going to have to bring that one up with him. I like that one. What about y'all?
Last year it was kind of different because we started probably not even the top 10 rankings. We like to say the rankings don't matter. This year we were ranked 2 currently by Dave Campbell's, but like Reed said, work like we suck. That's kind of the deal we're going off of day in and day out here.
What about you?
I'm sorry. I think this year, for last year, we had something to prove, and I think we've proven ourselves, and I think we're just trying to uphold that standard of the norm.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely taking one game at a time. We obviously want that final title.
Yeah. Everybody's dream to be playing Jerry World.
Yes, sir. I think it's a big thing because, last year we were ranked, like they said, we were ranked number 10, and we were ranked number 2. I think we have a big target on our backs rather than trying to prove something.
You're the hunted this year rather than the hunter, because last year, there's probably some uncertainty. Other teams looking in didn't have a lot of film on y'all running the spread because they're used to the flex bone. This year they've got a whole year, 13 games of film. So, yeah, you guys really responded well. Been very impressed. How has the success this year changed, if any, your mindsets?
I think it just makes us want to work harder just to keep that undefeated title.
So no complacency.
I think we still have that taste in our mouth for simplifying it, trying to get that out, trying to go as far as we do.
Like you said, we've had some successes this year, but every day we know we can always be better. Just try to build on what we have.
So I have to ask you this. You don't have to answer this. You don't want to. Completely editable later. Toughest coach on his coaching staff.
I would have to say Slaughter, just because he has such high experience.
They feel it's his word for it. Yeah, he's Slaughter, Coach Slaughter.
Just because he sees the potential that we have, and he wants to push us as far as he can.
Right. Well, guys, I want to say thank you very much for coming on the air with us real quick. Appreciate it. And again, like I said, this is not just hyperbole. It's one of the best offensive lines. I mean, I sit up there on home games and then sit in the studio and watch it remotely on away games. But watching you guys come off the ball, especially in the run game, and watching how far back that D-line gets driven every time, I sit there and laugh sometimes, literally laugh on the air because it cracks me up just because the way you guys come off there and just I hate to say slap people around, but essentially that's really what it is. So congratulations, and looking forward to, and I said it before, I'll say it again, I'll be sitting there in Jerry World in the stands when we make it there in December. So congrats again.
Sir.
Thank you so much.
Come back and join us. We'll come back after this with our thoughts on next week's game as district play continues.
See friendship being
Welcome back to the Hawk Insider, brought to you by Texas Bank. Coach Craig Slaughter, Russ Howard. So we've got one game in the books, district play, 1-0 now. We go on the road to Coahoma. Talk to me about Coahoma.
You know, hey, 6-1, playing really good football. And credit to them, they lost their quarterback, who was a 4-year starter. He started since a freshman, first game of the year. Hey, the replacement's actually the coach's son, and has done a really good job. You know, I'm really impressed. They get so much out of their kids. You know, they're just, again, you can see when they play. Remind me a lot of Idlewood. Man, they're competitive, tough kids. Very balanced run pass. You know, and again, that they do a lot of things well. So I'm excited for the game.
Yeah. You know, again, talking on paper, as we always do, on paper, they appear to run the ball very well.
Yeah, no, again, they've been extremely, I mean, they do a good job ground and pound with some huge chunk pass plays, you know, so their run pass ratio is almost 50-50. They have run the ball better than thrown the ball, but man, they've hit some explosive plays for sure.
Yeah, and again, like you said, they've got 2 or 3 guys. I was looking at this stats. They got 2 or 3 guys that can go and get the balls.
Yeah, they definitely spread it around. They have one kid that's a big target named Landon Wells. He's your rare. He's kind of H-back, sometimes split in, but plays the defensive end. That's a pretty rare combination. You know, he's like your 6'4" kid. Then they have a couple of speed guys, you know, that pretty much always play on the outside.
Yeah. So I told Coach Holscher I was going to bring this up. He's going to kill me for this. But are we going to go with any more onside kicks this week?
That's what. Hey, you know what's crazy?
Sorry, Larry. I love you, man.
I actually called Coahoma's coach yesterday because I really like him. I was like, hey, dude, that kick was so disjointed. Hey, the camera didn't even catch it. You know, just you know, it's just, or however that stuff works. You know, you got to be in like a formation where it was kind of your huddle kamikaze one. Well, hey, the camera missed it. Well, I called Coahoma's coach and said, hey, coach, I just want you to know we tried one of these. You know, it didn't work. But hey, even on the headset, we were like, man, I don't mind it on film because I want people to know it's a possibility, you know, and to work on it and things. But and hey, and the kid that kicked it, he has kicked them great in practice. So if it comes time that we think he's got it, I totally trust the kid. You know, the next one will be a little better.
Yeah, you know, if that's the only special teams miscue we have, and it really, literally is the only one we've had this year, I'll take it.
And that's what. No, you know, we totally. Again, I totally felt we were in total control of the game, even if we didn't get it and gave them good field position there. You know, I don't like working on things you never do. Yeah, I mean, and again, same thing. I know, like if there's a stunt I have or some special play, you know, Coach Lauderdale has. I just think you teach them that it's not important if you never work them in.
Right,
You know,
right,
so
that's
we worked it in, and just it didn't go our way that time, but it didn't hurt us.
Yeah, I get the concept though. Trying to
Yeah.
steal a possession before.
Yeah, no,
halftime.
that's
I get that.
and it worked out in our favor, to be honest, because they ended up going for it on 4 downs, and they gave us the ball at the 40.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so and
So
that-
no harm, no foul.
yeah, and hey, that was a flawless 2-minute drive.
Yeah.
I think it took like 28 seconds and 5 plays. It was a gorgeous possession there to end that half.
Yeah. Well, Coach, so 1 down, 3 more to go.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it this weekend, or this Friday night, in Coahoma.
Yeah.
If you can travel, please go. Watch the replay later. If you can't go, we will be airing the game live on Concho Sports Network on YouTube. So if you can't go, please tune in. If you can go, please go show your support for the Wall Hawks. Again, I love everything about this team. I love the way this team is responding to adversity in those first quarters, and the way the coaching staff. Again, I keep giving y'all credit because somebody's got to be telling them what to do.
But believe me, some of those adjustments I know we're making during the game. I'm hoping the adjustments all come pregame, and you just see from the jump. So we are the kids. We're all excited about these big games ahead, including this one right in front of us, and we're gonna go compete our tails off.
All right. Well, good luck, Coach. Thanks for joining us on this episode of the Hawk Insider with Coach Craig Slaughter, brought to you by Texas Bank. We'll see y'all next time. Take care. God bless.
At Texas Bank, we believe in the power of relationships. Our roots are our customers, the lifeblood of our business. We're more than just a bank. We're your trusted financial partner, committed to building lasting connections and providing personalized service that exceeds your expectations. From helping you achieve your financial goals to supporting you through life's changes, we're here for you every step of the way. Experience the difference of banking with people who truly care.